Hello everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons The Second Age. How are we all doing?
So great.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
Good.
So, before we get back to our high seas adventure, does anybody want to tell me a little story about everything that happened the last time we played this game?
We did combat for like 4 hours.
We did
and
combat
we're-
for like 4 hours. But what happened before that?
Lord of Spoons!
Lord of Spoon.
Lord of
No.
Spoons!
Lord of Spoons!
Why
Oh.
this?
Yeah, so last time, or like the time before, Grim and Arya had a little drunken adventure, and they woke up and they were just like, "What the fuck happened? Why am I so hungover?" And basically, they asked around on the ship because we actually left port thingy thing. Names are good.
Casport.
Yeah.
One day we'll remember the name.
Yeah, I know. It's been real hard for me to remember town names recently. I don't know why. Anywho, they asked around on the ship what the hell happened, and apparently Grim had this weird thing where completely drunk, he was like, you know what the best way to win a bar fight is? It's spoons. And yeah, the rest was history.
Yes.
And Arya also embarrassed herself. So
Classic.
classic.
Ta-da.
So we spent like a day or something on the ship, or maybe 2 days, who knows? And then we had a run-in with some dragonborn pirates
Indeed
who
you did.
wanted the cargo of the ship, which was apparently gunpowder.
Yeah.
Um,
Which none of you have any idea exactly what it does, but it's fine.
especially not me.
It's fine.
Yeah. V knows what an economy is, but jeez. Gunpowder?
That's too much.
One is maths, while the other is chemistry.
So, yeah, basically we captured the captain, I guess? Yeah, the captain. And we were just like, what do we do with him? Because you can't keep him on the ship, because he'll just, like, set everything on fire because he was a red dragonborn. And he was a worshipper of Tiamat, so, well, all of them were. So it was kind of hard to be like, hey, why don't you just be a good guy? Because that was probably not going to happen. So we basically went to an island and then murdered him.
Hmm.
Well, V did.
Well, first of all, you asked him a bunch of questions.
Oh yeah, we
and
asked
then
him a
you
bunch of
killed him.
questions. And yeah, I didn't actually know what the hell Kelariis asked, but I'm pretty sure that he was like, fuck you, glory to Tiamat. I mean, if
sure.
Jayla wants to fill in.
I mean, basically, I ended up asking him about like why the fuck were they there and what's up with the shipment, because I think that's how we ended up finding out about
Oh yeah.
The black
black
powder,
powder
yeah.
specifically. Yeah, that was basically what I asked him. Because
Yeah.
he wouldn't answer our questions unless, you know, I made him answer them. But it's fine.
Yeah, there you go, and that was our session.
That was your
Also,
session.
a bird winked at me.
A bird winked
Oh,
at
yeah.
you, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and so... with that, we will take you back, goes back to the ship. And... well, I suppose you... It starts with you guys getting back on the small, like, lifeboat, and sailing it back towards the ship. So there's time for you guys to have a private conversation about something if you want to have a private conversation before you get back to the ship.
Well, I guess we would like to know what you learned. Because,
I think, well, I told everybody,
Yeah, I think that was talked over and then you decided what to do with him.
yeah.
oh,
Because as soon as I came out of doing the thing with, the questioning, I just was
Oh,
like, so here's what it is, guys. It was black powder. Also, yeah, because I think Grim had, or tried to make a check to
Oh,
see if he knew what it was, and I
yeah.
think he was the
Yes.
only one that knew.
I had like I knew about the concept. I didn't
Yes.
know it was
Vaguely.
I didn't know it was real.
Right. So, I mean, do we
You're
want to
aware
bring it
of
up
the
with
theory.
the captain?
We should probably inform the captain that they are aware of the cargo. We didn't learn anything about how they knew, or
I mean, all I was told is that they have spies everywhere, I think is what I ended up writing
Yeah,
down.
he wasn't exactly specific.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to be, but figured if, maybe he'd be mad enough to spill something. He wasn't.
well, I guess that just means that this captain should probably consider this route compromised in future black powder transport.
I mean, there's always the chance that that they'll find out regardless of
Yeah.
what exactly they do. But it might be worth letting him know, at least in this case.
Well, he can decide for himself.
Okay, so I guess then you pile back into the boat. And okay, so as you make it back to the boat, you can see that basically as you pull up to the side of it and a rope is let down to let you guys up, you can hear the captain, who is talking quite loudly in a raised voice to several members of the crew. And it's difficult to tell what he is saying from down where you guys are, but he is quite clearly irate about something.
Oh dear.
Well,
Gift of your captive as well. So yeah, as you guys climb up onto the deck, you can basically see two members of the crew are basically out on the deck, and several of the other crew members are sort of like standing around them, sort of arms crossed, and the captain is standing on top of his post just by the wheel, and finishes like beginning to yell. Finishes his yelling statement with, and if I catch you again, I'll throw you both overboard. Am I clear?
Ooh.
How do you guys respond? You just
Doesn't sound good.
I guess I'll just let the disciplining happen.
okay. So yeah, after like a brief moment silence, the crowd on the deck of the ship is sort of like, it begins to disperse, and then Morgan just sort of says, "Get these two out of my sight. I don't want to see them again."
What happened?
Oh, yeah, okay, you're gonna talk to him. Yeah, he sort of comes down and says, "Nothing you need worry about, miss. Just a little bit of internal discipline."
Okay.
I guess whilst we interrogated.
interview. Jeez.
So what?
Oh boy.
Look, it's same idea, different
Different execution.
approach.
I would say they're
Uh,
pretty different.
Well, you both extract information.
You've clearly never had a bad job interview.
Ow. Well, we a few things you should probably know. Well, they knew about your cargo, and we assume it's like kind of secret.
Yeah, he sort of like his face becomes very serious, and he sort of says, "Perhaps we'd best go to my cabin."
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess he piles into the cabin.
I guess we all just join.
Cool.
Or does everyone join?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no reason for you guys not to.
That's kind of crowded
but-
in there.
But yeah, for the first time, you sort of enter the captain's cabin and see that it's actually quite sort of like lavishly set out.
Which room is the cabin?
The one at the back here.
Alright.
Yeah, back left.
Yeah, it's quite sort of like lavishly set out. There's a carpet on the floor. He's got like a bathtub and like a whole bunch of other stuff. Although you notice that like the bathtub is basically like bone dry and like looks like it's never actually been used to have a bath in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's just it's there as a decoration.
Just a status symbol.
I can't
Yeah,
imagine.
because I have a bath.
Like, I can't imagine you can actually fill it with anything out here.
No.
Besides.
Salt water.
Oh.
Well, there are barrels of water below deck, but that's used for rehydrating the crew, not for washing oneself.
Yeah, that's fair.
Those are expensive. But well, thanks. Well, I guess we can talk in here.
Yeah.
Well, we also know what the cargo is. Didn't actually think it existed till now, but we thought you should know that they were after the gunpowder or black powder.
So they were after us specifically.
Seems that way.
Yes. Seems like it.
Seems like they mentioned spies, that they had spies everywhere, but that's basically all we got out.
But I mean, they also knew that we had, well, that there was Kelariis on board, right?
No, not. It
Tallithsyr.
wasn't me specifically. It's metallic guards, is what they were
They
saying.
they expected a military shipment to have a military escort.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But I do believe that because we, didn't let them all just get away, we have bought ourselves enough time to make it to our next stop.
I don't expect they'll send anybody else. This is concerning news.
I should probably clarify that this is probably classified military intelligence.
Yeah, he sort of nods and says, "Aye, that nobody was supposed to know, exception being me and the fellas I have the agreement with."
I guess then we should probably also not speak of it to anyone else on board.
That would be appreciated.
So I guess that leaves the question why you didn't have a guard if it was such an important shipment.
Quite simply put, previous shipments filled with armed guards were met with even more forceful military response.
I guess because people think that the more guards you have, the more important your ship must be.
Pretty much.
Well, anything else you want us to know or we need to know?
Well, you now know what's in the storage room at the bottom of the ship, so you know how dangerous it is.
Yes.
Other than that, I think that's all there is to know, really. If everything is dealt with, then we should be fairly safe sailing all the way back, which I'd like to thank you for, by the way.
Well, we enjoy making it there alive as well.
I can see your point. Yeah, suffice it to say, there's going to be some questions when we get to port, but I think I can handle that mostly myself. Other than that, well, I guess it's just back to business as usual. or at least as usually as it gets around here.
I guess that just leaves me with one question actually. Is this this invention known, or is this like kept hidden? Because I'm very interested in it, but if it's well guarded, I probably shouldn't.
I'll be honest, it's really beyond my pay grade to know that. I know vaguely what it is. I know that it's dangerous if you put a flame to it, but that's about as much as I know. Other than the military big boys down in the port are sort of clambering over themselves to get their hands on it.
Well, I guess I shouldn't ask questions about it then.
Probably for the best.
Your head, not mine.
Yeah, that's maybe one day I'll find out where it comes from. Well, if that's it.
Yeah, well.
Hope it makes up for the spoon in the face.
God.
Oh my god.
I love that you keep bringing it up.
He scowls for a second before he goes, I guess we can call it even.
Arya just
Look,
puts her hands slowly into her face slowly into her hands.
Look, I hadn't actually apologized for it, so I thought I might as well take the opportunity whilst we are like...
Apology accepted.
Good.
Oh. He sort of like stands up, cracks his knuckles and says, well, we've weighed anchor here long enough. Time to get ourselves back with the wind. And with that, you guys set off. As you guys travel for the rest of the day, you begin to notice a slight change in the weather as you work. You notice that the storms that you passed through on your way south have begun to sort of dissipate, and the skies begin to become a lot more clearer. You suspect that the majority of the bad weather is gone for the foreseeable future. And
Nice.
as the evening rolls in, you notice, basically for the first time, there is basically a cloudless horizon, and as the sun sets off to the seaward side of the ship, furthest away from the land, you notice that as the sun sort of dips behind the ocean, there's a very strong sort of like amber glow that like radiates up off the ocean, and it is very beautiful.
Oh.
So
Oh, there go the dice.
there go the dice.
There goes our life.
Okay,
And here comes the Kraken!
so
Oh, I was like, because of the beautiful light, I was like sirens.
Oh.
Definitely sirens.
Sirens. Good choice.
That's also bad.
for the next couple of days, you travel along basically this long sweeping route down the coast, and you pass a number of other merchant ships who are headed northward. And you can tell that this generally seems to be like a very very oft frequented shipping lane up this stretch of coastline. And you, actually, as you pass, you encounter several ships who are sort of coming out into the ocean from ports along the western coast. Sorry, along the western coast. As you are traveling, roll that again. Okay, so on about the 8th day of your travel, something unexpected happens.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Siren!
No.
Cracker.
Okay,
I think
Dragon turtle.
Ah!
Please, no.
so as you are sailing, you notice probably just before mid-morning, you notice that the sails suddenly swell with a heavy wind, and you are driven at a very high speed. And Morgan seems to almost like be wrestling with the wheel for a little while before he can sort of like get the ship back in, back on kilter. Everybody give me a nature check.
Shit, I don't have my character.
Oh
Nice,
boy!
Arya.
Okay.
Oh, well, no one else make any nature checks. It's basically no point.
Yeah. at this
Thank you,
point.
I'm doing my nature check.
Well, I'll do it anyway.
Okay.
Fire in the hole.
oh, we are very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like feeling the nature.
Okay. So.
Look, man, I
let's-
am starved for nature at the moment.
We are so natured right now.
As you guys are sort of like battling with ropes to try and get this sort of the sail back under control for a little bit, you begin to notice that there's a there's an unprecedented sort of like heaviness to the air, and there's like a degree of moisture in the air, despite there basically being sort of like no clouds in sight. And this isn't sea spray whipped up off the ocean. This is just like on the winds. And as you look out to the horizon, basically out from over the land, basically comes a huge roiling thunderstorm.
Boy.
And basically a very heavy tropical storm barrels out of the barrels over the coastline out onto the ocean, and you are caught smack bang in its path. The immediate thing that Morgan tells everybody to do is to drop the sail, batten down the hatches, and secure the cargo. So while he tells you to do that, what is everybody's reaction to this? Where are you? What are you doing?
I guess it was like during our shift, or
Yes,
like-
you are all up on deck when this is happening, with perhaps the
Yeah.
exception of V. But
Yeah.
Oh,
but frankly, at this point, V can be anywhere that she wants.
I don't even know what job started to do.
Yeah, you are probably up in the crow's nest, so you might want to get down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's quick. Do what he says. Get the sails down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause I think, I think
Uh,
I was making sales anyway, so.
So sales is a two-man job. Who wants to work
Yeah.
on that?
Well,
Come on, class.
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay, Kelariis and Vondal.
okay. Anything to do on the front of the ship? Guess not.
Well, he
The
said batten down the hatches and secure the cargo. So
Well, I guess I might as well run down, secure cargo. Why
okay,
not?
cool. You run downstairs and begin securing cargo. Arya and V, what are you two up to?
I would like to get down.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I
Well,
don't have a job on this ship.
You don't have a job, no. But is there anything that you would like to do?
I guess I'll join Grim with the cargo thing,
Okay, cool.
just to be sure.
So Kelariis and Vondal, I need you to make me a strength check. Arya, I need you to make me an acrobatics check.
Cool.
And V and Grim, I would like you to make me.
What the fuck, guys?
I guess it would also be a strength check.
Dang it.
It's okay, lucky 7.
Just straight up strength?
Oh no, guys!
Yeah, just straight up strength.
Fuck!
Why?
Okay.
Why?
God damn it, nature.
Oh, I should
Okay.
use my belt.
So.
Fuck me.
As the Royal of the Storm hits you, the wind basically picks up like a curve of a wave and sends it spiraling back out from the coast, and it hits the side of the ship and causes the whole ship to sway.
Me and Grim both fall on our faces.
Yeah, you and Grim basically are both knocked down from like things flying around in the cargo hold. And you take
Oh.
4 bludgeoning damage each.
Wow.
Arya, however,
It's thrown off the fucking ship.
basically you are
Struck by lightning.
you are knocked off the crow's nest.
Oh,
You are gonna
Oh
take.
god, I wish I was there.
Wow, that's really bad rolling for me. You take 6 bludgeoning damage as you are
Ouch.
basically like thrown from the thing. You fortunately land on the deck.
Good.
But you are basically like prone and the wind is knocked out of you as you hit the deck.
Vondal, I just heard this.
Yeah.
Look, I'm smashed and what the fuck?
I
Yeah.
was just laying there like,
Are you okay?
So
6 damage from that is pretty damn lucky.
Yeah.
Kelariis and Vondal, you are wrestling with these ropes, and you don't fail, but you don't get the sail down yet.
Oh shit.
Damn it.
So,
Sevens. It wasn't actually that lucky.
are you gonna continue doing the tasks that you were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arya, what are you gonna do?
I guess I get to my feet.
Well, you still have like a little bit of movement after you've got to your feet, so you could run and start doing something else.
I don't know what else to do. What needs doing?
Nobody is like sort of like securing the hatches, so you could
I
do
would.
that.
Oh, okay, I'll secure hatches.
Okay.
Down the hatches.
And down those hatches.
Okay. So
Me
Literally.
and Grim
in
need to get
this
this shit under
sense.
control.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Kelariis and Vondal make me strength checks again. V and Grim, you can make me strength checks again. I guess if you want to just make one strength check, you can sort of do it slowly and you can have help.
I think we're better off if we're helping together.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
Vondal.
so yeah, I'll
No.
give you
No.
advantage.
I accidentally rolled it twice.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well.
Your first one was great.
Oh, this is way better.
That was a really
It's a good thing
sad
that crit was
roll.
on the first.
Okay,
I clicked it, nothing happened. I went, oh.
Arya,
Me
can
and
you?
Grim tried to do it at the start, like by ourselves. We both failed, and V was just like, maybe we should work together.
Yeah. Arya, do you want to give me a straight dex?
This is bullshit.
Okay.
Dexterity
So,
is my best stat.
Grim,
Rolling shit.
you start sort of like you pick up the barrel that sort of like knocked you to the ground and like secure it away in its hold. You start getting these ropes down to like make sure everything is tied down properly. Arya, you're sort of trying to do the same with these hatches, but it jumps out of your grasp as another surge hits the boat. Kelariis, this surge actually, like, the rope almost like goes from your grasp and like starts to hoik you into the air until Vondal sort of like reaches over and grabs the same rope that you're pulling and actually manages to get half the sail slack.
Thanks, Vondal.
Nice.
Thanks, Vondal.
Cool. I guess make another round of checks.
Dex for me again.
Yeah, make dex for you again if you're doing the same task.
I guess we're helping each other again.
Yeah, you can help each
It
other.
got worse.
God damn it.
Oh my god.
That's a
Hilarious.
save that you're rolling, by the way, Vondal, not a check.
Oh, well, it's
But
the
it's
same.
the same.
Oh, yeah,
so-
Yeah, I don't
helping-
think he
Yeah,
has.
helping
it's the
Greg, I
same.
assume.
I don't have proficiency in strength checks.
Okay. So with that, Vondal and Kelariis, you actually managed to like get the sail to go slack.
Thank fuck.
Huzzah!
Grim, you secure away like the last of the cargo down in the basement with V's help. Arya, you are still sort of like struggling with this hatch. Like it's taking like all of your strength to try and get this thing down, and because it's using all of your strength, you just cannot get your hands into position to like lash this thing closed. You've done 3 sets of checks, right? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
This is
Oh wait, I was falling near one of them. Just kidding.
Yeah.
You didn't do a check because you fell.
Everybody who is on the deck. Can you make me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, because I'm good at those.
Dear. Don't get struck by lightning, guys.
Finally.
Oh,
nice fuck yeah.
Okay, that's good because I rolled 3 10s.
Oh.
Natural 20 on the -1.
Oh,
Okay, so between the 3 of you, I'm gonna roll a d4 because you're not actually because there's 4 of you. Okay, so 3. So Vondal, you take 15 lightning damage as
Oh
a
my
bolt of
God.
lightning basically like strikes you.
Yeah. I can take a hit, this is fine.
Yeah, it would have been 30 if you hadn't passed, but
Nailed it.
Jesus.
Hit me next time.
Honestly, guys, if I had been on the ship now, because I would have been on like 4 health.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's a good thing you're below
Oh.
deck.
okay, so the 3 of you still on deck. You see that Arya is struggling with the thing. You can go and help her if
Help
you
me.
want.
Yeah,
Please.
help her.
Okay,
Yeah, definitely.
I
So-
need those big beefy dragon arms.
make a dexterity check with advantage.
Shit.
Okay,
Oh,
you,
finally, I'm gonna get to
with-
rock and roll.
with Kelariis and Vondal holding this hatch closed, you manage to like lash the rope through and secure it. Morgan is still up on the like the high section. Morgan is currently battling with the wheel, and he yells down to you. One of you get up here and help me. The rest of you get to cover.
I'll run up.
Okay. Can you make me make me a strength check with advantage?
Okay.
Come on, you're downstairs.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you.
Good thing you had
Thanks for that
advantage.
advantage.
Holy shit.
I presume the rest of you guys run for the cabin and secure it.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go downstairs because that's the bit Arya's just lashed closed.
Oh,
Yeah, unless you want to undo all my hard fucking work.
Quickly, get inside.
so you want to go up here?
Anywhere will go.
Yeah.
Okay,
I ran
so
opposite
I'm gonna chill in here with the NPCs.
Morgan is like wrestling with the wheel, Kelariis, but you sort of like grab hold of it, and with his help, like you sort of like wrench it into the right position, and you actually turn the ship sort of into the swell of the waves that are coming at you. And as this storm passes overhead, can you make me another dexterity saving throw?
Sure.
I should make one for Morgan as well, really.
Hey, of course, I'm so
Okay.
proud of your dexterity today.
Wow.
You still have +3. It's not bad.
Yeah, I know, but usually my dex saves are real shit for some reason.
Okay, so you take
Whenever we get AoE'd.
Yeah.
basically take 8 damage as another bolt of lightning like strikes the deck and like sends wood splinters flying.
Is that already reduced? Or is
That's halved for the success, but not halved for your resistance.
that... Okay.
So 4.
4 damage.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
with
I
that,
just give a
I
shit
need
about lightning.
to make a
Clara's tank
piloting
like
check
a bomb.
for Morgan. That is a natural 1.
Damn it,
Oh,
Morgan.
Morgan, please.
Oh, Morgan, no!
So
Oh my
he actually briefly loses control of the ship, and I need to roll some dice.
Morgan!
Now
Morgan,
we're all
no.
on our faces again. God dang it.
Morgan, no!
We just
Okay.
fucking fixed this.
Whoops. I just dropped a dice and I don't know where it went. Oh well, I don't need it right now. Yeah, if he's fucked that up, make me another dexterity saving throw.
Sake.
Oh my god, he can make the dexterity saving throws, he
No.
just cannot make the...
No.
So that's 12 lightning damage, halved because of your resistance. And
So
oh wait, yeah,
bad.
I need to actually take this stuff off Morgan as well. So he's lost 19. Well, the piloting check. Okay, that's a success. That's all he needed was one success.
Nice. Good job.
So yeah, with that he manages to ride the storm, and you are basically like pushed a significant distance out into the ocean. But after some cunning navigation from Morgan, he actually manages to get you out of the edge of the storm and off back into still sort of like windy and spatterings of rain, like edges of the storm. But yeah, the sort of the sea begins to settle down, and you guys are no longer in quite so much danger.
Huzzah!
Woo.
Boy howdy.
Well, that was exciting.
It's like Tallithsyr who just hears the fucking like lightning striking, and then Vondal runs into the crew quarters like.
Oh yeah,
probably
those.
smoking.
I just realised that those guys probably would have been up on deck with you, but yeah, they would have gone down and done their own thing while that was happening. I totally forgot about rolling for them.
Lol.
Well,
Everyone forgets about companions.
I've got too many things to keep track of. They're your companions. You need to keep track of them.
Look, if we forget about them, they're safe.
I mean, that's kind of fair.
Not necessarily, because if you forget about them and a cavern collapses, then
Well,
good luck.
Yeah.
But yes, so with that, you guys are back on track. Or, well, not quite back on track, because you are a little bit put out by the storm. But... okay. So, yeah, with that, the rest of that day passes fortunately without incident. As does the next day, until the 10th day of your travel. V, you have been checking the weather every morning, haven't you?
Yep.
Okay, so as you wake up the morning of the 10th day, you check the weather with your druidcraft, and it shows a. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention. Basically, for like the last 2 days, the temperature has been gradually getting warmer and warmer.
Oh dear.
As you check the weather for today, you notice that it's going to be a warm, balmy day with almost no wind.
Oh.
Oh no.
Yeah, no wind is bad.
This might be a problem.
Oh,
Das ist nicht gut.
das ist nicht gut.
We need wind for the sails.
Yeah, because
Not
as you
overheat.
notice, actually, as you go up to the deck to start, well, those of you who go up to the deck to start your day's shift, notice that there is a distinct lack of movement on the boat.
Yeah. We're not gonna move, and it's gonna be way warmer than usual.
Yes.
Joy.
And at that point, sort of like Morgan comes out of his cabin, and he seems more than mildly irritated. What? How do you guys respond to this?
If he has an outburst.
No, at the moment he's just on the deck, looking like he's looking around, and he just looks like to be in a foul temper for some reason.
Morning.
oh, V.
He turns towards this person that dare wish him a good morning here on this day. And he beholds you, is about to start berating you, remembers you're a passenger, not a member of the crew, and says, "Not exactly."
What's wrong?
He sort of gestures around him and says, "With that storm throwing us off course, we've only gone to end up in the doldrums."
What?
The doldrums, lass.
The where?
I'm not from here.
It's not a here, it's a state of being.
Okay.
Basically,
I'm gonna like lean over to Vondal and be like, I have no idea what he's saying.
I'm just gonna sort of whisper back, like, I don't really know either. I'm not a sailor.
he looks at your confusion and says, "Simply put, the further south we go, the warmer it gets. The waters get more stable. So if there's no wind and no waves, we end up in the doldrums, and we don't make any progress. This makes the captain rather irritated."
So
Understandable.
what do you do when you end up in the
Was me.
Usually, it's a case of just keeping the morale up. Usually passes after a couple of days, but if you've anything that can help out, it might be appreciated.
Oh. Best we can
Oh
do
shit,
is
now I really wish I had already switched out Tidal Wave. God dang it. Could have just like waved as long. Oh my God.
Tidal wave might be a little bit aggressive
I was
for what
gonna
you
say, I
want,
feel
but
like
sure.
But like,
Oh,
V would
Tidal Wave's a
totally
bit
try it, right?
I would try it, 100%.
well, I guess
don't.
the best thing we have for morale is Vondal's food and drink.
I mean,
That's not
only
even
good.
like a
That's,
morale
that's
booster.
not good for morale. It's really plain and boring.
Yeah, but
Literally
the
described
idea
as
that like
bland.
no matter what happens, we won't starve is
Pretty
pleasing
good.
to some people. You know.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, I think there's more than 15 people on this ship.
Well, how many can you cast it more than once?
I would imagine.
I guess.
Problem solved.
Got a good point there.
I don't think Storm Sphere will help much with getting us moving.
No.
No,
Uh,
probably not.
I think we've got enough storms for
Yeah,
now.
you need a way to like sort of make a decent wind if you're going to solve it by magic.
Don't have that.
I just had the worst idea. Fly on the
What?
broom and push the ship.
No.
I don't think she's
That
strong
would
enough
make
to do that.
no
I don't
effect.
think that works like
Yeah,
that.
the laws of physics would kind of prevent that.
No, you would have to tie a rope to the back of the broom, and then even then it would really make
The
a
broom
dent.
would just like not move.
Yeah, that still
Yeah.
make no difference.
What's the the weight limit on that broom is like, there's a weight limit, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like 300 pounds.
Yeah, but,
Yeah, I'm
have
sure
you-
this ship weighs more than that.
Significantly more, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, the funny thing about ships in water is you need considerably less force to push them around.
Yeah, but
But
still.
I still think it's too little. That's true.
I don't know if we'd move any faster than
Yeah,
we
that thing can only just lift Kelariis. It's not pulling a large cargo vessel loaded full of cargo and passengers. If it was empty, maybe.
I know. I still think it'd be too heavy.
Nah,
wouldn't it?
yeah, I
even then,
don't
it
think
probably,
it would work.
even then, yeah, it probably would be too heavy.
Well, I think everybody already agrees that it's not gonna work, but it's a great image.
It is a brilliant image.
Yeah, if only.
I guess.
Oh, I just had an even weirder idea.
You know?
I was wondering if there were any like big fish around that could push us.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I can talk to animals.
Yeah, that's true.
You could try and convince them, like, please push our boat.
Do you talk to fish?
It'd be hard because it'd be underwater.
You'd have to
God.
shout at them from the top of from the deck of the ship.
We have a ring of water breathing, don't we?
Yes. Well, you have a ring of swimming.
Oh, yeah, swimming.
Oh.
That's not water
Damn it.
breathing.
Again, now I wish I had Alter Self, which I switched out. Fuck.
Fuck. We have regretted
Well-
that so many times.
Not really. Although
Breathing in the
it's
water is not really an issue. Like, you can be above the water and just stick your face in the water to have a conversation. In fact, you probably don't even need to do that. It's as long as you can stay afloat, and it's not like the boat is going anywhere.
Guys, you want me to look for some fish and ask?
I mean, sure.
Until we come up with anything better, that's all we have.
As you stand on the deck discussing this, by the way, like, you are... those of you who are not from around here are already beginning to, like, get, like, quite hot under the collar in terms of, like, how much the sun is beating down on
your
you.
awesome outfit because it is too warm.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that Arya has just taken off her shirt, so she's only wearing her bindings because she's like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
I think everybody's a little bit at
Ooh,
that
damn.
point. Maybe not Kelariis.
Kelariis is fine.
Kelariis is
I was
suffering.
like, what are you all whinging about?
I mean, Kelariis is probably the first person to shed shirt and is just happy to be in it.
Vondal's probably chugging a hell of a lot of water.
I mean, to be fair,
Kelariis
he
is just
could-
walking around in a tank top that just says sleeves are bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guns out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out!
Vondal's probably the worst one at dealing with this as well, because he's from probably by far one of the coldest places.
Yeah.
If not the coldest place.
On the other hand, you're also used to working the forge, which is hot.
I
Sure,
am,
but it's not
but
humid.
that was the last time he worked a forge before, like, Renshire was 125 years. He's much more used to, like, you know, a mountain top.
But, oh,
Yeah, also, like,
Which is
humidity
really
is very different from just, like, hot heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Humidity.
everyone- yeah.
You can,
And you're out on the ocean, so it is most definitely humid.
Oh yeah.
And also, there's no escape from this. If Vondal got too hot from the forge, he'd go stand outside for a bit, then
Yeah.
walk back in once he'd cooled down. You can't do that here.
You damn
So
right.
yeah, Kelariis, are there any big fish around here? Like really big fish?
I mean, I'm sure we're far enough out that that's a possibility. There are definitely big fish in the ocean.
what else?
We're gonna need like a fucking whale.
There's always a bigger fish.
The more you talk about this, the less reassured I am in this turning out well.
Look, whales are fine.
Can I get the ring of swimming?
Now, what we really need is like a pod of dolphins. That'd be great.
The real issue is that we can't hold our breath for very long.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, fair.
You can
So
still
slow.
hold your breath for like a minute, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, that's
Well,
not longer than
it's-
I can actually hold my breath.
It's enough to take a look, at least.
Okay. Alright, can I have the ring of swimming?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go swimming, guys.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you want somebody to go with you?
Which,
This is like literally asking me.
well, I
don't
guess we
wanna-
could ask the captain to like lower the what's it called, but we also used to get to the island, so we can
The
just like
rowboat.
sit on the lower, the rowboat, so we can like sit like
You
Yeah.
don't
close
need
to
to
the
swim
water.
then. You could just sit on the boat.
Swim.
The ship's not moving. then you
You
might
could
as well.
swim.
We might have to convince the captain that this is a good idea, but what
I
does
mean, there's no reason not to do it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
No bad
Well.
consequences. I think.
Oh yeah. At this point, Morgan probably is like he's just gone back inside because he knows that it's hopeless to actually try anything.
Can I sort of like, yeah? Can I go up to Morgan and be like, Morgan, can we have a little like rowboat for a second?
He's probably like, what the fuck?
He sort of crosses his arms and says, "What do you want the boat for, lass?"
I want to go out in the sea for a second.
Squints.
I want to go talk to some fish.
Oh god, that was the
Right.
That was
Worst way you
fucking
could have worded
beautiful.
that.
Well, on the other hand, you are like half dryad.
Yeah, but I don't look very dried anymore because I just look ginger.
Yeah, also, he didn't know that.
I mean, apart from the literal plants growing in your hair.
Yeah.
Well,
But that could
the only plants that I have left in my hair are just like little the little hair decoration that V has.
Yeah.
So yeah, can I have the boat? The tiny one?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh,
Use those
Lord.
puppy dog eyes to full effect.
I will.
Oh
That was a
That's
4.
really awful.
That's-
Holy
that's
shit.
pretty sad.
That's a 4.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Question is, how much does it take?
Yeah.
15 overall.
He looks at you for a long time and just sort of says, "Fine."
Yay!
Ah.
Okay, Kelariis, we can use the boat. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Let's lower the two of you down then.
Why are they like this?
I wish I knew. And I wish
How
I
do
had
we
more
get the boat down?
I think they're lowering us.
Okay.
Somebody's lowering
Well,
us.
somebody will have to lower you. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, you guys currently, including your comrades, are the only deck crew, pretty much.
Yeah, well, I
I
guess
mean, we can lower a boat.
Yeah,
We can easily
we can
help.
probably lower a boat together. There's 5 of us.
Yeah. Well, the point is, to lower a boat, somebody has to stay on the boat.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was only Kelariis.
Well, yeah, I thought it was just
Yeah, I
Kelariis.
thought it was only Clark
Yeah,
and V
yeah.
that were going.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. Then that's perfectly within your ability.
Clark and V are in the boat, and everyone else is lowering them while they're in the boat.
Go for it.
What?
You guys are now in a boat in the water.
Cool. I want to stick my head in the water.
Okay.
Why?
Clark, we're in the boat. The boat in the water.
Do I see any big fish?
Give me a perception check.
Fuck me.
God.
Clark in the water, in the boat.
21.
It's pretty good.
You do not see any big fish, like, sort of near you, but like the water is very clear and you can see a considerable distance down. There is definitely something moving around down beneath you.
Sick. Can I make like echo noises to sort of try to call something over?
What, like dolphin noises?
Yeah, cause how else am I gonna speak to fish?
Well, for starters, V doesn't know what a dolphin sounds like,
Oh
and
shit, you're right.
secondly, that isn't how your speak with animals works. You just speak normally, and animals can
Okay.
magically understand you,
Dang it.
because that's just.
You just need to shout in a very.
I mean, you can
low
definitely
tone.
just go blub, 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 and then imitate a fish, but they will understand you perfectly.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
In order to maximize
Alright.
efficiency underwater, you need to
I can
very
see
deep.
something.
noise.
I can see something big down there, I think, but if you just she just fucking pulls her head back up. She's like totally soaked.
Just
Fuck hell.
This mental image is amazing.
like the salt, just like you just got like that salt. Like you lick your lips, and you just got like that like salty taste, and it just like stinging at your eyes a little bit.
Pull
Yeah,
hair
I
out
think
your
I see
face.
something big down there, but we might need to swim down a little bit.
Can I try to look to see if I probably can't see any further than V can. so-
Give me a perception check.
Yeah, because.
That's
Yeah,
the
you can't
main
even see the
thing.
shadows that V can see.
Fantastic. God, I am mildly concerned about the
Okay,
fact
well,
that we
cut 'em
don't
all.
know what this is.
Oh
Oh,
my
God, if she's going in, I'm going in after
Bloop.
her.
You're insane.
I'm assuming you guys are like by this point just sort of like stripped down if you're going to be jumping in the water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Not all of her
pretty
shit,
much.
but
Yeah.
the others.
So
While
yeah.
you're taking care of Elowin, and I have no idea how Elowin feels right now because it's supposed to be autumn for her, and she probably has no idea what's going on. But it's fine.
She's probably very confused.
Alwyn also lives in a terrarium, so
Yeah.
Owen also isn't sentient.
How dare you? Don't you
What do you
talk
mean?
shit
She
about
says
Ellen.
water please every so often.
Yeah. Don't you
Sentient.
talk shit about
yeah.
Ellen.
As Vondal sort of like looks at this terrarium he's been given, he feels just some sort of subconscious psychic compulsion to provide
Oh my
water to this
God.
small plant.
On the other
God,
hand,
why are we
he
like
really wants
this?
that water for himself because he's really missing snow around about now.
I think importing. Oh, I just realized this is fun. Not even realize this is salt. Nah, he would know by now that salt water, the ocean.
Please don't give Elwyn salt water. Holy fuck.
Yeah, that would be
Oh my
not
god, that
great.
would kill that poor plant.
We've traveled for
Wouldn't use
days. so
Salt water anyway. You'd be using the water that's on the ship, which presumably
Yeah.
is not salt water.
Yeah.
You'd be using the same water he's.
He's just got like a little cup with water, and he just like sort of like drips a little bit off the side into the terrarium.
He basically has it
Aw,
tilted
yes.
ever so slightly
Yeah.
towards it, held like under his mouth, and if he ever wants a drink, he just goes what, and then like tilts it again back over to the terrarium.
You also have no idea how badly I want to just tie a rope around Fee as she dives down.
I'm already
Um,
cannonballing. It's
yeah,
too
so you-
late.
I
Yeah.
know,
Going
but
with-
I
yeah.
can't. I can't do it because I'm not down there.
Uh,
Yeah.
This is the
so
worst.
Yeah, they're both already gone.
I'm
Nope.
so scared.
I think Vondal's distracted.
Look, it's nice, okay? It's real warm.
I
Sweet.
mean,
Uh,
out of
it is-
char-
yeah.
Excuse me, out of character, I am scared. In character, Clark is all for this.
Clara's having a swim.
That's underwater combat. I don't want that. I'm trying to find the rules for like how long you can hold your breath.
Oh yeah, because I don't have a magical ring.
I don't have a magical. My ring just gives me extra swimming speed. that's
Usually
all.
it's
Yeah.
Oh,
1 minute
I thought it was-
plus your con.
Okay, so
like,
50
oh,
seconds.
like plus your con in round.
Oh, in rounds. So okay.
Rounds. What? Oh, my entire con score, not con modifier.
Or is it something like that?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Hold breath.
Is it not on that? Actually, no. That's just a big list of actions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, apparently all the Dungeon Master's Guide tells me is that hold breath is a feature of lizard folk.
Okay.
Well,
Thanks for
alright.
that.
Hello and welcome to.
Oh well.
We try
Well,
to figure out the fucking
okay.
rules.
So I will because time is not currently a pressure. I will say you stay submerged until you can no longer stay
The creature
submerged.
can hold its breath for a number of minutes equal to 1 plus its Constitution modifier.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
saw
okay.
that as well.
Minimum of
It's
30
minimum.
seconds.
Okay.
Well, so you can hold 30 seconds.
Damn it.
That's not very long.
Yeah.
It's
It's
not
not very long.
You can get much further than Kelariis in that time.
Well, so wait. Oh, it's 1 minute plus its Constitution mod.
Oh,
What
so
does that even mean?
a minute and a half, I guess? Or is it literally saying you can hold it for 30 seconds? if you
I think it's
want
number of minutes equal to 1 plus your con modifier is what it should
Yeah.
say.
to? Oh,
So if you have
So
a con
mine
of
would
negative
technically be
something.
0, but it turns into half a minute.
30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Well, you can
Alright.
hold it for like, I don't know, 2 minutes or.
Yeah, like 2 minutes. My con modifier is not great, so it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so
I just hold my breath.
the two of you swim about a little bit. V, what are you doing to try and attract the attention of these things below the water?
Uh. Good question. Can I wave at them?
Angry humming.
God.
Angry humming. No, friendly humming. Friendly humming.
You could try waving at them. I don't think it would be well, you don't think it would be terribly successful.
Yeah. God dang it. I should have discussed this with Kelariis. What is the best way to talk to a fish?
Fuck, I don't know!
Does Kelariis know that? Yeah.
I don't!
Kelariis knows lots of things about fish.
More than
They
he does.
taste good.
I feel like I feel like it's not how to talk to the fish.
No, it's how to catch them and how to eat them and prepare them nicely.
I can't really say hi because
And
I'm
which
underwater
fish you
and I
can
don't want
eat
to
and
just
which fish you
intake like a bunch of salt water.
Yeah, you don't want to actually open your mouth.
The medium of
I mean-
interpretive dance.
Like a bee!
Oh my god.
Dance like a bee!
Synchronized swimming, go.
Yes, synchronized swimming. Oh no.
Okay, wait. I have maybe an idea. I need to look something out.
Do anything? I'm just kind of
Okay.
here in case something goes horribly wrong, to be honest.
So
I...
you're underwater for a few seconds thinking about what it is that you're going to do, then you have to come up for water, for air, come up out of the water, then Kelariis comes up next to you, and then you're just like, okay.
Okay, maybe have an... Can I... Should I try to... I can move water underwater. Maybe I can sort of like... to direct their attention to me?
Oh, you wanna shape water underwater?
Yeah, because it's only somnatic, so.
Yeah. Okay. I would
Okay.
say you can do that.
Okay, good.
That's interesting.
It's definitely inventive.
That is very inventive, actually.
Look, man. I'm
So I
trying with
are you I
what I
presume you're
have.
saying this to Kelariis?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you can, it's worth a shot. It's that, or you're gonna be waving around down there, hoping they see you. Have I seen the shapes yet, like at all?
When you ducked under, you like maybe saw like a faint blur of it.
Okay,
How
it's not
far
enough for me to tell.
away are they, by the way, those fish? In just like a general sense.
They're decently deep
Wise.
down underneath you.
Oh, actually, but not like longer than 120 feet?
Probably not.
Can I cast message?
You
Holy
can
shit.
certainly try.
That is
Message on
truly
Well,
inventive.
here we go.
Oh, this will be interesting.
Okay, so
Get back into the boat. This was all unnecessary.
Oh my god.
Oh.
but you enjoyed it anyway.
But
I
the
love how
swimming
we-
was nice.
But
Yeah,
the
the-
water!
Had a nice swim.
Coming in, the
Yeah.
water's great.
I point at I point at wherever I think I see the big fish,
Yep.
and I cast message.
Okay, what do you say in message?
Jesus.
Hello, big fish. There's no waves. Can you maybe push our boat? We really want to get to our destination, which is further like that way-ish. You can't see me right now, but I'm pointing anyway.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Gee.
Well, time for me to find out what the fuck these fish are.
Oh god.
He was not expecting this to work.
I was just like, shit, what kind? I was like thinking of shape water, and then I was like, what other cantrips do I have? And I was like, I have message. I'm a moron.
All this time.
Excellent.
I've been messaging them.
I was just sat in a boat, sogging away, like we didn't even need to go in.
Oh man, no, you think that this was a mistake, like, the swim was fucking
If we
great.
wanted to go in the water, we could have done it at the beach.
Yeah, but it's still water.
It is still water. It's just much more unsafe.
Meh.
Yeah, well.
When are we ever actually safe? But let's be real.
Literally never.
Okay.
I mean,
so
sometimes.
Fair, but, you know.
you Yeah, okay, so you cast message down into the depths towards these shadows. And slowly coming up to the surface after a few moments, you can see a number of almost lizard-like creatures coming to the surface.
What?
Okay. Can I, by the way, can I sort of like shake Kelariis' arm and be like, I have never talked to a fish before. This is very cool.
Okay.
So actually very excited for you, but
coming up towards the surface are a number of like almost like lizard-like creatures, and they've but they're a bit odd because they've got like almost like beaks for mouths, and they've basically got this massive sort of like armor plate that covers like the whole back of their bodies, and they're sort of like swimming towards you in like big like sweeping motions, and they come to the surface. And they regard you with a like sort of a long, slow sort of stare.
Okay. Maybe he's just gonna be like, hello friends. You're very cool.
oh,
Yeah, you know what they are.
okay. I was thinking of something very different.
But you're the only person who's ever seen one.
Okay, fair.
Oh, they are the giant variant. So.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking of something a little different in my head, but that makes a lot more sense. I got you.
Okay.
Yes, hi. that big boat is our boat, and we would like to carry on sort of that way, and just sort of like points in the general direction that we were trying to head. But there's no wind, so our vessel doesn't move. Could you help us, maybe?
Do I know anything about them, by the way? While V's having this conversation.
Probably a similar amount to what you know in real life.
Oh, well, I mean,
Perhaps not quite on an academic level, but
okay. Well, I mean, in terms of like, are they typically aggressive or just kind of there?
Very aggressive.
Yeah, but looks.
the few times you've encountered them, like, unless they have young, they just generally ignore you.
Okay, I thought so. I just wanted to kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's a valid question.
Yeah, they just sort of they sort of like surround your little boat, and they're like swimming around, like looking at your big boat. And they sort of look back at you and sort of say, maybe.
That was not what I was expecting.
Is there something that I can give you if you push our boat?
I don't know, is there? We can try pushing the boat, but I don't know if we're big enough.
Oh.
Does it look like they're big enough?
They are like maybe 3 to 4 feet long. But you'd have to get like a little bit creative. You'd have to sort of like make a raft out of them and then like have them all pushed together.
What?
Fair.
Like it would take a lot of them, and you'd have to sort of like rig them up to it somehow. They're not like
God.
huge.
We need a whale. I'm telling you guys.
But I can't find a whale right now.
Yeah, we found.
So we're doing it with what we have.
There's not very many whales.
Or maybe you can pull the boat if we give you some rope. I don't know if that works. I don't know much about boats.
I mean, that's a decent idea. It's probably easier than pushing it.
If you think so.
Oh my god.
Would they be willing to try, V? I can't hear any of their responses, or I don't understand any of their responses.
Yeah, like to you, there's just this entirely one-sided conversation that Via's having with these things.
Yep. I feel like I've seen this before.
Yeah, you've definitely seen V talk to animals before.
So this is not the weirdest thing.
No.
Nothing new.
But it always just strikes you as bizarre because she's just there talking to animals, seemingly getting no response, but seems to be having the other half of a conversation.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, well, if you're willing to try, that's good enough for me.
Okay then.
Oh my god.
Okay, let's go. I turned to Kelariis and I'm just like, okay, let's go.
Did they say yes?
Well, they want to try it. They're not sure if they're strong enough, but we can try it. I think we need to give them some rope, and then maybe they can pull it instead of pushing it.
Well, mate, you also might be able to sort of like tie a rope around their like weird armor plate thing that they have.
Oh, yeah.
Right, let's have them toss us down some rope then.
Okay. Guys, we need some rope.
Alright.
I just like look
Okay.
at V. I just look at V and shake my head like I can't believe you got turtles to help us.
No,
Maybe.
I don't have any
Are they
rope, so...
turtles?
Oh no, I do have rope.
They're a larger variety, but yes.
Oh, cool.
I'll throw down 25 feet of rope.
Thank
A
you.
25.
That long
I
enough.
think we need more than that.
Yeah, you're gonna need more than 25.
I mean,
That's all I've
we
got.
have.
No,
I have
the
rope.
ship probably has rope, right? Like
Yeah,
not
we,
our rope.
I
I'd
know someone
imagine
else
they
has
have
rope.
better rope for
we
us.
should probably use the ship's rope. 'Cause then
Yeah.
it's like tied to the. We can like. It's like already designed to be tied to the ship.
Well, then let's go
Yeah.
get some rope.
But yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
My
So,
rope's just down there now.
it's just like V just yells up, "We need some rope!" And then this tiny coil of rope just falls down to the boat. We're gonna need more rope.
Perfect.
Well,
love
I
it.
assume like after that we have a short like explanation.
Exploration. We need some rope.
Okay, you converse amongst yourselves about what the plan is, and then I presume you go and get rope.
Let's go get rope.
Cool. With that,
Well-
we will take a little break